Where's the text message for our chat? Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another set of episodes, or maybe just one, who knows, of Unveiled with Rafa Records Music. All right. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves first. We'll start on that end and go this way.
Hey guys, my name is Chiagoziem, or CJ. I am one of the producers in Rafa Records.
Oh, hi. My name is Eric, and I honestly came up with Rafa Records, but I just here in the shadows.
Is that for real?
No,
Okay, I don't know.
come on.
I was just wondering if maybe there was a part of
That
the
was a
story
joke.
that I didn't
That
know.
was a joke. That was a joke.
Okay, you're done?
Yeah, yeah.
That's it?
Um,
He's our guest for today.
He's a guest.
As you can see. Okay, I hopefully you can see my face with this microphone, but I did we say our names?
Yeah.
I'm Amarachi, and I am one of the producers in Rafa Records. You know what? I think that before we get to this next person over here, I think that each of us kind of like now has like a greater identity in what we produce. I feel like I'm a really good vocal producer. Like that's my for now.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead.
My name is Kachi, and I'm just hired hand. I do whatever is necessary. I'm a producer. I'm hard on myself,
Clearly,
but I say I produce.
can you put that
But
pop filter down? Can you put the
on a
pop filter down? Sorry,
what?
the pop filter.
Like
Just
lower the thing that's
lower
right in
it.
front of your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am co-founder. Can we move on?
What? Okay, but put the pop like lower
lower
the
down.
actual
Oh, this.
no. This
This.
that yep, exactly. Yeah. See, as you can see, we're really chill. We're just trying to talk to you guys, okay? And as you guys probably maybe I don't know have seen, we released a song when?
That's a good question.
When was it?
March. Oh, it's March. My bad.
We are still actually all waking
Sorry, I
up.
was thinking about follow.
Okay. It was in November.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is called Yahweh We Love You. I mean, it's not our song. It's a cover. And we're just gonna talk a little bit about that. So, first things first. We want to go around and talk about pretty much how we grew through the experience. And the first person who is going to talk about their growth journey is our special guest, Eric. Now, I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to let Eric tell you guys. Okay? So you have the floor.
I guess to start, I think one of the biggest things that this did for me was give me confidence, kind of in like my identity as a musician, singer, vocalist, anything you want to attribute that to. I want to take the time out to be like, you guys are actually awesome at what you do. Yeah, I mean, you're probably some of the greatest people that I know in the things that you do. And coming into it was really hard because you see a standard and you realize that you're not that great. You know what I mean? Catchy was saying he's a little hard on himself. I am very hard on myself as well. But one of the things it definitely taught me was that one, making great things is hard. That's what it is. And it took a lot of cajoling and
What did that look like?
Huh, what?
The cajoling.
What do you mean?
What did the cajoling look like?
I thought the J was silent. But
Kahuli?
yeah, when I read it, I see the J is silent.
So how do you read it?
I never say the word because I didn't know.
Oh, you never say the word.
Nope.
Kaolin.
What does that even mean?
Like,
It means like
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Igbo.
What did that look like? I don't know. I can be pretty laissez-faire about things. And I think it was just, let's just say,
tell us what happened.
there was a point in time where I wasn't very responsive and I wasn't very like on it with things. And, this was a timely thing. And part of it was because I was a little hard on myself because I was like, man, like, should I even be doing this? You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it was kind of like, there was a conversation between me and Amarachi and she was just like, bruh, basically she said, get your stuff together. And I had to get my stuff together. And, I grew, I grew a lot. Anyways, the identity portion. This was really the foundation. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've grown a lot in worship leading in the past couple of months. And this kind of helped me to know my lane. I know we were talking a little bit about, you need to push yourself and stuff like that. But I think it's also important for somebody to know what they do well. And this helped to kind of solidify that. And yeah, it was weird to hear my own voice coming out the end of something else. And but it was still a beautiful thing. And it was interesting to hear what everybody else, thought of it. But more than anything, to me, this was kind of like my hello world, hello world moment type thing. So yeah.
Anybody have any questions for Eric on that? Just one or two. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, interview. Okay, my question is based on, I know we're probably going to get into this a little bit more as time goes by, but you had some very, very interesting experiences in regards to like the production process, things that you may not have been familiar with and like you had to jump into with everything that you just talked about. How was it kind of navigating, applying your level of skill in that area while also even like trying to figure out everything that you just explained?
Yeah. I think it was very difficult because I think there's one thing to sing with the microphone or sing like right here or now, like hearing your own voice, and there's another thing to record. And it was a very big catch up moment. Like it felt like it had to happen pretty quickly. We did like, whereas you guys might do like 5-6 takes, I was doing like 3 days worth of takes for one specific moment. And obviously towards the end, it got a little bit, it sped up some more, but that was difficult. That was very difficult because it's just not the same. Hopefully I'm answering the question well. I forgot most of it, but I think that's what I want to say.
So at the end of the day, did you regret doing it?
I did not regret doing it.
Is there any part of it that you regretted?
That there was a specific moment. I don't regret anything, but there are things I look back on and I'm like, I could have done it better.
Okay.
I think it was important for me to come to that moment where you kind of like do what you got to do, but I do wish that I had been more structured prior to that. Now my life was really crazy at that moment. It was actually very crazy. But one thing about committing to something is that you just got to follow through. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Do you have any moments that we could listen to that you're saying that you could have done better, or
Unto the great I am.
let's listen to it because he thinks that it's bad.
I hear this. Every time I hear it, bro, I'm like, no, I don't like it.
Oh,
So it's the very beginning of the first chorus.
Yeah.
Let's play it.
so are we playing everything or just
No, just that part. Just
just
that
as
part.
vocal?
Yes.
Please.
Let's get to it.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait. There we go.
Unto the great I am, with everything I
I sound like I
have.
had something in my throat.
Unto the great I am, I'm singing, how great is your name.
I was also very congested.
Unto the great I am, with everything I have. Unto the great I am, I'm singing, how great is your name.
Sounds good.
Say. Okay, you know what? This is actually a good segue into my process in this, because I think one thing that I have realized, I'll say this first, that Rafa Records is about is it's about kind of like breaking the fourth wall when it comes to like people that make music and the assumptions and maybe even the facades that surround that. Everybody is growing. So like it's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, Eric's on a song, and it's like, well, I mean, what makes Eric different from this person or that person that we see being marketed as an artist? That person's still growing. We're all still growing. And so, anyways, okay, let me go into my journey. So I'll start with like this whole vocal production thing. I don't know why I'm just looking at the camera. I'm like talking to you guys. So I coach, and I also, well, I coach for different scenarios and environments. So I coach people to lead worship, to be on a stage, to understand how sound is perceived from that perspective. But then also when it comes to recording in a studio, like Eric said, it's completely different. And I think that I think what makes me good at that role of like vocal production is that I understand the psychology of singers. So going back to what we just listened to, it's like none of us hear anything wrong with what we just heard,
Except for me.
except for the person that sang it. And it's because he has a different perception of his voice than anybody else that's listening to it. Also, it might be because it's always weird hearing your voice compressed for the first time. And that's interesting. But yes, in general, singers kind of like struggle with their perception of their own voice in comparison to how other people perceive it. And I think I just understand that. So I understand when to kind of like rub a singer on the back and be like, okay, yeah, I see that you don't like that. We can do it again. Let's do it again. Let me help you try to achieve the sound that you're trying to achieve. But then there's a balance where it's like, no, we're not doing it again because it's actually good. It's actually fine. And that's just like my vocal coaching background of like having to get people to actually appreciate their voice. Just I mean, I think when you record, there has to be a level of that to the point where even things that sound imperfect, you start to understand the beauty that those imperfections actually have. And you're like, oh, actually, I like that. Let's keep that. Also, the other part about vocal production isn't just the psychology of it. It's also the technique of it. So you always want the best raw vocal. You want the best signal that you can get. I think we struggle with that at the beginning. The first day that we recorded, the signal wasn't that good. And I was really confused. But then we did it again and it was better. Now I think I still need to grow in just like understanding the different mics that are used, because this SM70B is what we used, and I'm still getting used to it. So that's definitely an area of growth, like learning microphones and stuff like that. But in general, I think I pretty much know how to get a good signal. And I think that it's about, okay, how far is the singer from the mic? It's about how much gain is the mic turned up on the interface. It's about even the singer and how they're hearing themselves. We experimented with so many things. There was one time when Eric was like, how about I put the headphones here and we turn it up so that I can hear the music coming through the headphones, but it's actually not on my ears so that I can still hear myself. So you see, like, there's a balance of like, you have to be able to hear yourself very well, and you have to be able to hear the music also very well so that you don't go off. The music can't be too loud or it's going to bleed through the headphones and go into the microphone. That's why we nixed that idea at the end of the day. And so we had to figure out a balance. And that's hard, right? Because I know if I have my headphones in and I'm using the microphone, I know my levels that make me comfortable. But if you're working with somebody that hasn't been used to, doing this thing when it comes to recording, it's like sometimes they know that it's uncomfortable, but they don't necessarily know what to ask for to make it better. And so it's a lot of like experimenting, like, okay, what about I turn the music down? Because we did that. Yeah. We ended up turning the music like way down because he didn't really need to hear it that much. And then he could hear himself better. So I think that there was just a lot of growth in vocal production, but then also just owning that that's what I am and knowing that I do have skill in that area. And last two things I'll say very briefly. I think I've grown a lot in arranging because CJ, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like most of this song was pretty much arranged by me in the sense of like what should happen at each part. I feel like when I would tell you what would happen, you then put your spin on it. Like especially that part in the middle. What's that part? You know what I'm talking about?
The Yahweh.
No.
Really?
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Is it right key? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, like that. Maybe he'll talk about that. That's all CJ, right? But in terms of like, here's what we're going for in each part, like describing that and saying like, this is kind of like we talked about warmth, like bringing more warmth into certain parts. And then also even doing like vocal arrangements in terms of like harmonies. And also this was interesting because you had 3 leads. So figuring out how to space everybody out so that the best part of their voice could shine and come to the forefront. I feel like I had to practice that, grow in that, and also, again, own that that's something that I do well and that I'm still growing in. Lastly, I actually mastered this. And honestly, it's scary to say that because for all the people that are mixing, mastering engineers out there, you might not even have liked what I did, but I did it. And so that's something that I feel like that's like my least, I'm like a novice for sure when it comes to that. But shout out to Toby Mark X Productions.
Shout out.
She answered a lot of my questions and helped me out. Also, Tito Ernesto, he answered some questions too. It's always good to have family when doing music. So those are the things I'll say about my growth. Okay, so anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, like
Like, what's wrong with him?
yeah, like, why this song?
So I was listening to
Because
it.
I'll tell you this, I never listened to this song before.
Me neither.
Yeah, and I'll
A
speak
lot of
more
people
on that
hadn't.
one. Yeah, I'll speak more on that. As far as for me, how I approached it, I didn't listen to when CJ sent me the track, I didn't listen to the original. I'm like, what is this? I remember I was asking you, I was like, is this, I felt at some point, I never listened to the original song.
Yeah, and you
So I was like,
is this an original?
No, well, no, I was like, I didn't listen to the whole track when you sent it to me. So I listened to what you sent me, but then at the end, the verse, you said that your part that you were singing the verse again.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was without the vocals. So I was like, why is it looping again? Like, what's going on here? I thought the song was starting over. I thought that was an error. And I texted you like, what is this? And then so yeah, that's another thing. But go on.
Catchy probably had his own process, his own viewpoint in all of this because I think I thought of something. I talked to CJ, and then CJ talked to Catchy, and Catchy kind of just executed. But
I didn't
like,
know the song. I didn't know who it was by.
Sometimes that's how it's be. We all have lives, and things just have to happen. So sometimes the communication gaps are there. But as far as where the song came from, I heard the song. I believe it was Enoch Black Knock that sent it in the BCF Psalms chat, and okay, yeah, I think that probably was the first time I listened to it. I just enjoyed how it ministered to me. That was it. At the time, I really needed to remember who the many facets of who God is. Sometimes growing up in a certain culture and in a certain way, you see God the way you see maybe your dad or your mom or the people that have been around you, right? And it's easy to see his personality that way. And then you listen to a song like this and you hear the lyric gentle father, and it's like, wait, what am I missing out on? Because I don't see this front and center when I look at God. I don't see gentle father front and center when I look at God. I see maybe other things that might be true and that probably are true, but like there is an entire personality that God has that helps you to actually be able to receive everything that he has. So yes, God definitely releases judgment. But if I don't also understand his gentleness and his patience and his love, even that judgment, I don't fully understand because I see that judgment as hateful. But when you understand the full thing, you see, okay, God is a good father who gives good gifts, even in his judgment. And so that's just a small example of literally all the things that that song was doing for me. And I think that after like literally like having it on repeat for a few days, I think I made an Instagram post because by that point I had already talked to CJ about it, and I wanted to do like a simple thing because I felt like it was like a testimony for me at that point because of just everything that I've been through. And I wanted to just kind of sing it and like have that be it. Like it wasn't supposed to be all these bells and whistles. And then, but you know, once you get CJ involved, the bells and whistles are also involved. And so that's how that started. So we had like me and CJ do a lot of like Discord, maybe not recently, but at that time we did Discord, and so like we worked on it, so we had an instrumental, so that's what I used to do like a testimony type video on Instagram, because that's how the song was really ministering to me. Like, wow, like the fact that I can even get to know God this way and see him this way after all of this. And that's how the song continued to develop. I don't even think Eric was supposed to be a part of it at that point, but Eric came to mind, and then I was like, nah, I was like, let me just do this other person or this other person or this other person. And when I start thinking like that, I say, Amarachi, that's the end of that. Stop doing that. Because overthinking sometimes is like you have to start asking yourself, why are you overthinking? Why did you think of Eric in the first place? Why are you thinking of these other people instead of Eric? So I remember I told CJ, should I ask Eric? And then CJ made a joke about how, like, obviously I should ask him. Remember that joke that you made? And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. So, so I ended up asking Eric, and I think that's what sold me. It wasn't even like what I thought, it was Eric's response, because when I asked you, I said, how would you like to record this song? And he was like, I don't know.
I was already like contemplating like doing something
With that
with
song.
that song, and I was like, oh wow, it's funny that you asked me.
Yeah, and you wanted to grow.
And I wanted to grow more, especially. So
I said, all right, we're going to do this. That was literally it for me.